So once you've gotten to the point where you're feeling pretty comfortable with the basic vibrato motion, and you can keep it going continuously and loosely as you play your pieces, then you're going to want to start thinking about varying the width and the speed of your vibrato to allow you to bring out different expressive possibilities. So for example, in some pieces, it's very appropriate to have a very slow, calm vibrato, whereas others, you're going to want something that's a little more intense. So I like to think of this sort of on a spectrum, where 1 is your slowest vibrato, and 10 is your fastest. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start somewhere in the middle, where you're at your most comfortable. So just get your vibrato going, and then little by little, slow it down. And speed it back up. Try going back and forth and finding where your range is at, and maybe expanding your range out a bit. And at all times, of course, keeping it as loose and relaxed as possible. Now, another way that people sometimes work on this is by using their metronome. They'll put their metronome on and try to fit in a specific number of turns in that beat. So to be honest, I'm not very good at this, but I'm going to show you how it works so you can give it a try. Okay, so my metronome's on at 60, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with 2 turns per beat, okay? And by turn, I mean ba-dum, 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 right? The up-down motion, not a separate up and a separate down. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and here I go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Etc., etc. You can keep going up. Now, the reason that I am not a huge fan of doing this personally is because I find that when I'm thinking that hard about getting exactly the right number in, I start getting tense, okay? And so if you find that you're spending more time thinking about, do I have it exactly right? Is that exactly 6 per beat? Than you are about just feeling loose, then maybe you just need to go for sort of a general approximation of almost exactly 2 per beat, or almost exactly 4 per beat. But don't get too hung up on trying to get it so correct if that means that you're getting stiff, okay? And I personally tend to get stiff when I do that. One way that I do like, though, sort of a variation on this that I find is fun, is to do different rhythms with my vibrato. So, for example, I could do Mississippi hot dog, Mississippi hot dog, that kind of thing, or maybe a little faster. And I would want to try this on all my different fingers. And what this does is it just gets me a little more control and a little more refinement over my vibrato, and expands the control I have over different speeds so that I can use it more expressively in my playing. Okay? So that's it. Give that one a try.